folks, and we're back with Mr. Ian Joseph. He's a guitarist, he's a singer-songwriter, and we're going to get in touch with him very much right about now. Ian, tell me, really, how did you get involved in music from way back when you were a youth?
Well, my grandfather was from Venezuela. He's a musician as well.
Okay.
And he was a composer.
Right.
So by the time I was born, he already had his first album out. And I remember we would go to Parang, house to house with him.
Yeah.
And being around those musicians from a very early age influenced me a lot. It seemed like everybody played music. You know, I would think everybody could walk and talk, so everybody would play an instrument. It just seemed natural. My sister was very accomplished, just the two of us, my big sister, and she quickly was accomplished on the piano and the quattro.
Wow.
Yeah, so I thought that everybody did that. So then I started to follow in her footsteps. She's 4 years older than me. And yeah, over the years, you know, when I was in high school, my first band was with Nigel Rojas. We were kids
Orange Sky.
high school, yeah.
Was it Orange Sky back then?
No. We had a band called Free Will. That was our very first band.
Okay.
It was just himself, myself, and a guy named David Marquez.
And what school was that?
CIC.
CIC.
CIC, yeah.
Mary's, man.
St. Mary's, yeah.
All right.
And then Nigel left pretty soon after that, and I continued playing with David and a few other guys. Then Nigel and I, we were childhood friends.
Right.
So he had gone away to study. He came back and he said, man, I'm starting to write some music. Why don't you come and play some, sing and play some bass for me? I want to do something. And I said, sure. And we put together a band called Zandoli.
Okay.
And from Zandoli, during that time, it was a year and a half, we recorded 4 songs here in Belmont.
Okay.
And that was the first demo. Nigel had to tell you. We still have copies of it, but Nigel, one day when he interviewed me, I had to ask him about that. But I went away to study right after that.
Okay.
So I did engineering studied engineering for 4 years up in Florida Tech. And then worked for another 7 years
Right there?
in the industry in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, in Florida, and traveled the world through engineering. Back in those days, you were
Yeah.
traveling plenty and stuff.
Back in the day, traveling the world was a huge deal.
And it was easier. It was,
Yeah.
it was more accommodating. Right now, the economy is a little shaky, but back then it was booming at the time, especially tech.
Yeah.
Was electrical engineer. So when I graduated, but all through that time, university and all that stuff, I was playing music. So I played in a university band.
Okay.
We toured, when I say toured, but we played up and down Florida. We
Yeah.
played from Miami all the way up to Orlando.
Okay.
A band called I-20 Massive.
I-20 Massive.
I-20 Massive.
It sounds like a Trini band.
Well, those guys were from Curacao. They were all from Curacao.
Okay.
And strangely enough, I wanted to focus on my studies when I got up there. So I said, I'm not going to play any music.
It's very funny that you said strange enough.
Didn't last. The guys heard that I played at one point, and I did an audition, and they were like, you're in. Each gig is $100, dude. You have to do this. So I was in, and I did that as I said, for 4 years. After that, I did a lot of studio work.
Okay.
In the Florida area, on guitar mainly. It started to write, and that's when I started to write in, let's say, the early 2000s.
Okay.
And then fast forward I moved to Canada. After that, I was in Vancouver for 6 years. And out in Vancouver, again, I played with a few bands, and that's when I started to really write and record my own stuff and learn about the recording process and production.
Yeah.
And then I moved back in 2010 and was playing with bands here. I played with Johan Chakri for a while. I recorded with Johan, played guitar and bass on his Indie Art album. That was a really great experience. But around that time, he needed an extra song for his album.
So you utilized that avenue to bring in one of your songs?
Because of my songwriting, I was like, well, how about this? And I wasn't sure if he would like it. He loved it, and he said that's on his album.
Just like the underdog. Hey, can I have a little something here?
For real, yeah, for real. And nobody knew me in Trinidad, really.
Yeah.
And at that point, I just came back, and I'd been away for 18 years at that point.
Oh my goodness.
So nobody really knew me on the scene. Denise Plummer, I done guitar work for, that's true. I did a lot of studio work over the years, visiting on Christmases. I did a couple, pieces of guitar work for Denise Plummer in particular, but through a studio that I had known.
Of course.
Yeah. But the work I did with Johan, that song that I did was a song called Therapy. And of course, it's a pan piece.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Had lyrics, but I told him, look, you play the pan and just play the melody and you're good.
Yeah.
And of course, he did a great job.
Yeah.
So, and then I continued writing. I released my first band sort of work in 2014.
Oh, recently?
Yeah, 2014 was the first time I actually decided to do, on the encouragement of close friends like Nigel and so on, certain people like Nigel in particular. He was like, do this, we're holding back. We have, over 20 songs and you're growing. Just keep putting stuff out. So I was going to do an acoustic set. And then I was encouraged to do a full band, and I did that for 2014 to 2015. And then I continued doing the freelance stuff, and I decided the band stuff is tough.
It's
keeping
very
a band
difficult because the
together.
commitment of keeping that band together, and then I'm not sure if you have a family life as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, we have, yeah.
Yeah, it takes a serious toll on you from
It's
from what I know.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, of course. Yeah, and it's the thing was I decided to record and release. So in 2015, I went back to my recording and production
Right.
of my own music. I have to give a big shout out to the indigenous movement.
Yes.
Those guys really, you know, they embraced us and they give us an avenue. Once we have our music out, they give us an avenue to actually be heard in Trinidad. So that was fantastic. And I started there, and then Nigel Williams heard of me through the indigenous people. And Nigel got me on Island Jammers. He wanted me on there. And then Nigel has just been a really great guy. So I just wanted to say, you know, if it wasn't for people like Nigel and the indigenous movement, Nigel Williams and the indigenous movement, we would not have had that, you know, on Island Jammers. So
Yeah.
I want a big shout out to Nigel Williams and Island Jammers and to the indigenous movement as well.
Well, Island Jammers has been doing tremendous work, but friends, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back from this commercial segment, we're going to be speaking music, and of course, the guitar might be introduced in this set. So stay with us on 10. We're talking to Mr. Ian Joseph, a guitarist and song producer. He produces his own music, by the way, friends, so stay tuned to 10 with more on 10 Talk.